were basically kind of they're the ones that are going to be, or they feature the ones that are going to win the Oscars, the winners of some of the awards, which I'm not too sure about because the best feature for the Spirit Award was Spotlight. Best female lead was Brie Larson for The Room.
Yes.
Best male lead, Abram Attah, Beast of No Nation. Best director was Tom McCarthy, Spotlight. So we just saw that wasn't true. Best supporting female, Maya Taylor for Tangerine.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm checking my friends are telling me that
there's a new feed because we lost our previous feed.
Oh shoot!
And so they need to
edit the link.
They need to go to the second page, the part 2. Tell them just go to the channel and see part 2 because that's where we're live right now.
I just want to edit the old link.
Yeah.
So go ahead and continue.
No, that was about it. I'll just, there are other award shows that happen around now, but everyone still seems to be focusing on the Oscars.
Well, the Oscars are certainly the biggest ones. Hey, Garen.
Yes.
You have any news?
No.
Garen!
I'm really sad about that. I was thinking we were going to talk about the Oscars and everything.
Well, we are, but that doesn't mean you don't bring in other news.
Well, there is something I kind of want to talk about.
Okay, go for it.
If that's okay. And I want to know what you guys think about it. And I know we've been touching on this a lot, but like this last couple of weeks has been kind of weird and nuts with it.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been talking about YouTube, so I wanted to bring it up, and I want to know what you guys think about it. So there's been I've been trying to pay attention to smaller like channels that like do these kinds of like reviews and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the video that came out about that by that dude Grade A under A, and funny guy watches videos. But he was basically going off, and he's like one of those people that calls out a lot of people. That's how he makes his like that's his shtick, is like he calls out people and like does analysis on things and explains why he hates everybody in his British accent.
Yeah.
And it's funny, but like so this last 2-3 weeks has been really weird because I've been digging deep into the idea of how the whole debacle with reaction channels and how they're not exactly stemming from the Fine Bros, but in the same vein.
Right.
But as in there's a lot of channels that are getting away with basically copyright infringement.
Yeah. I've been following this too, by the way. Just I don't mean for my unenthusiastic responses to be like, yeah, Garen, you're still talking. I actually do really want to talk about this.
Yeah, even if it wasn't enthusiastic, I was just speaking my mind. I don't know. But it's crazy because I was digging deep into this and I really didn't understand much of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, like let me see what's going on, because anybody crying on the internet sometimes just fizzles out real quickly.
Right.
But I've been reading into it and I just kind of got like pissed because like, I don't know, Robert, have you been like reading up on this stuff too, the way Jason has as well?
I wouldn't say I've been reading up on it, just paying attention.
Or like paying attention, or yeah, like anything like.
Not really. I've just been paying attention to all the different things that YouTube has been doing content-wise, and how I think a lot of people are ignoring YouTube as a source for content, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, oh, you just go there for internet videos, but it's starting to become this really big kind of. The thing is, I don't want to say network because network is not the correct term for it, but its own platform. So where like you have cable and so it's becoming its own platform.
I think the internet in general is sort of following that.
But YouTube is kind of like the gold standard.
I mean, when you're going somewhere for like actual like weekly stuff, like weekly.
I would say user generated more than weekly, because you could easily do things weekly. It's just the other ventures that tend to do originals of a more professional caliber, like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon. They allow for binge watching, and YouTube's the only one, because they have regular advertisers. They encourage heavily for their what's the word I'm looking for their content creators to put something out every day or every week, or consistency is the most important thing for them.
But that again, that's what I'm saying, is that for that is that these people are coming out with things that are, again, at least for me, they haven't been done before, and stuff that I'd really like to see, and stuff that it's just not on TV.
Right.
So looking at TV,
they also, because it's so much cheaper, they can take risks.
Absolutely.
Because if something fails on the internet, it's like, oh well, it failed on the internet. It only cost us $15,000.
But even then, it's like for them, I think a lot of these people aren't doing it because it's good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're doing it because they want to do it,
right?
And they don't care if a million people see it or 10 people see it.
The crazy thing about it is that they make their money either way, so they don't have to care that it's good, and that's why a lot of them don't try to be good. They try to be just regular.
Well, you see, here's the problem that I've had. Like, it's great and all that, like that they're creating original content that is good. Like, it could be good. I don't know, like, because you've seen a lot more of it, Robert, than I have, because you have read. And the thing that I connected with all this, and that was kind of upsetting to me, was like how it's really weird how I wouldn't say negligent, because it's not necessarily negligent, but what's going on with the idea of I thought YouTube was made of, you know, people making videos, and that's how the website generates, you know, people come on to see people making videos, and this whole copyright thing has been kind of upsetting, because I feel like they're not doing their job.
But no, it's a question of where's the copyright coming from.
Okay, well, you're like, let me give an example.
Please.
Right? So the exact, like, let's say we're two different channels, right?
Right.
And then I have a channel, and I made this stupid video of me like falling down the stairs.
Whatever. And it's hilarious.
And it's like hilarious. It's stupid. And then like it'll be like, even if it was dumb, like the whole like, oh, this is me whenever something like this happens and I fall, and I start generating some views. Now
it generates, let's say, 30,000 in the first day, enough that people know about it.
And you might land on the front page.
But it's the most views he's really going to get on his own, because somebody bigger than him takes the video the next day and starts talking about it.
So now imagine you like, oh, I want to do a reaction to this video. You play the video
in its entirety
on your channel, and then you are just sitting there like with a camera, like, and the video's going on the corner. You're just sitting there with the camera and just going, and like laughing at it a little bit and going, oh, that's funny. And people are going to your channel like by the thousands, by like 10 times more than I would get by viewership,
because you're a content
video.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that I want to argue in defense of reaction channels, is that they operate in the same way that content aggregators operate. Nobody seems to get mad when a content aggregator does it. What I'll say in defense of content aggregators is they at least acknowledge what they're doing, and they don't copy the video. They put the original in their space.
Yeah. Like
literally link it, play it, do the whole thing, and then any traffic that goes to that video goes directly to that video, not their version of the video.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Essentially what Garen's getting at in the longer explanation is that they're barnacles on the bottom of a ship.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that, I mean,
which is an insult to barnacles now that I think about it. Brie Larson, yes! Sorry. Thanks for pointing that out. Oh, God, I love her. Sorry. Anyway, I'm also I'm glad she won over Jennifer Lawrence, because I'm tired of Jennifer Lawrence getting cast as like an adult when she's not an adult and hasn't had adult experience. I mean, she's an adult in the sense that she's old enough, but she keeps getting cast to play like people in their late 20s and early 30s who have life experience, and she doesn't have enough life experience to play these roles. They keep putting her in these roles because she's a hot property. It's really irritating, and I'm tired of it. Continue, Garen.
Sorry, no.
I'd rather yell about reactions.
Yeah, no. So basically,
I just wanted to point
I mean, but that's the thing, is that I think you have to look at it, and like it depends on what kind of video you're doing. If you're doing a video that's just you falling down or something like that.
That Garen probably used falling down as a bad example, because these guys hit everything.
Okay, like let me give you a bad example. Let's say you actually like,
I get it,
wrote a script, produced something, a short thing, but it was like something that you worked on.
Then
or a funny commercial, or a good prank, or like a stunt video, or
then you
dance
can
video.
Then you go after that person that's doing the comment video. Depending on how what they're doing, you could dispute it with YouTube.
You can, but here's the thing.
This is the problem.
This is the problem, and this is where it's easy to say you could do this. You have to know about it, which means you have to be hunting for it constantly, which means taking time out of your day.
I mean,
creating.
but that's the biggest thing that people keep forgetting, and this is the same argument that we always make with people who are doing social funding, is that if you want to be a content generator or a YouTuber in any sense of the word,
right,
and you want to be serious about it, and want to get page views and want to get hits, you have to commit to it.
But here's the thing: these people are committed to it, but they're committed to creating. And their job should not be to make sure that other people are breaking the law.
But here's
because that's what they're doing.
Here's the worst
thing is they're not breaking the law
because they are.
But they once they put their video on YouTube, they no longer own that video.
No, but here's what you're missing.
No, they still generate ad revenue.
They generate ad revenue. They get the
They
views,
do, but they're not paying for hosting. They're not paying for.
No, but you're okay. You're right. You're right about those things. That's not the issue. That's a totally different issue. That's like getting mad that the car you bought is red and you wanted it white, and really gas prices are skyrocketing because of somebody else controlling something else. Two separate issues entirely about getting mad about cars. The thing is, the people that do the ad revenue, the reaction videos, they get all of the viewership that would go towards the original viewer. So not only is that person now no longer getting any money because other people are watching their creation. It's like the content creator, not the content creators, the reaction people are getting views because people are going to their channel to see the content that they're reacting to.
Right.
They're not really going to see the reactions. They're going to see the original content. But the person that made the original content is not getting paid for it.
No.
So it's piracy in a sense.
Well,
now,
then you have to question how they got the content as well.
They got the content by taking it.
The question is, you have to be careful because some people put their stuff up, and it can be downloaded due to the rules of YouTube.
But that doesn't matter. Because downloading it is so that you can download it, not so that you can put it back up. Because one of the other things that you have to agree to in the terms of service is that you have permission to upload the thing you're uploading, and they don't.
But that's the thing is that they could, and for the fair use, if they're commenting,
but they're not.
But they're not commenting
because that's the other issue. Is what is
they're literally
use.
just they do quote unquote silent comment, silent reaction.
They literally
just
do a silent reaction
at the video.
Well, that's stupid. Then
it is, but they get paid for it.
Now here's sorry, go ahead.
Here's how the copyright claim system works: is that you file the claim. First of all, you have to know that there was a problem, and you have to know that there was a breach. And the minute that you file the claim and it goes through, from that point onward, any money that the video makes, you start making, right? But this is all, it makes most of its money in the first day or the first 2 days. You don't find out about it for a week. People are still kind of trickling in. You're getting some money. You're not getting any money from the people that have already seen it. You file the claim goes through. Now you're making all the money from that point onward, not even the back owed cash. From that point onward, all the money that gets made is yours. The person on the channel gets notified that this has happened. They delete the video. Because if I can't get paid, then no one gets paid.
The opposite, now the opposite also, remember that thing you were saying, like just now when you're saying like, oh, like you have to look, like you have to dedicate the time to look over the web. These reaction channels are doing that. They're looking out for people who are calling them out on these things or pointing out that they're doing these things and then filing like abuse reports on them, and they're actually like winning.
And the reason they're able to do that is because it takes zero effort to do a reaction video, and they have so much free time that they're able to do that, whereas the content creator is spending all that time creating content. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of problems for it.
I think that's where my debate would come in, is that, and again, I haven't seen this personally, so I'm just going off of what I've seen.
We'll show you because it's
no. But the thing is, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, usually when I see a reaction video, I've seen reaction videos, but they're to something that it's like home movies, or like, you know, stuff like that.
Well, there are some that are in legitimate spaces, and there are some that actually contribute. Like the Fine Brothers, as much as we want to get mad about what the Fine Brothers did, the Fine Brothers are the best example of how to do it right.
Because they actually ask for permission. That's one thing.
Well, they
have second thing is that they don't show the video in its entirety. They show they show
clips, and they focus on the opinion.
Because that's the biggest thing. The biggest problem, and it's not because like that. What this is a smaller thing of the bigger problem, which is that YouTube, is not there is nobody out there that's actually looking out for people breaking their code of conduct.
That's the thing that there is, though.
That's the thing that we have to specify, because when we talk about copyright law versus the code of conduct or the community guidelines,
fair right use for Google,
copyright law only applies in countries where it applies, and so it's not something you can use as a general statement. It also applies differently everywhere. Terms of service apply everywhere, because it's universal, and so these are among the things that are part of the community guidelines.
That's
whether it's legal or not, it's against the community guidelines, which you have to agree to before you sign up for the website.
When you get your account, you're automatically agreeing
and you
to
actually
it.
have to agree to different special other terms when you become a partner that makes money, which is another thing
when you're monetizing.
But these people aren't having their monetization taken away. It's interesting because the people whose monetization is being taken away are the content creators, and the reactors are finding a way around it. They're also making scads of cash. But anyway,
Another one was like that whole, what's that guy's name? That's SoFlo Antonio douche.
I don't know. I just know him as SoFlo, and I don't even know who he is really. He's a guy.
Okay, we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out if we're making history here. Who wins for best actor? Is it Leo or is it someone else? Oh my God!
Oh,
History in the
finally,
making.
ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first. Leonardo DiCaprio has won the Oscar for best lead actor.
I mean, obviously they put him right there next to the stairs, so he give his 2-hour-long acceptance speech.
Right.
Oh god.
Go back to the.
My phone's gonna blow up.
Go-
Already did.
Go back. Oh, there goes mine.
There goes mine.
I love how social media reacted.
I had a friend text me a
instantly.
couple of minutes ago, like, "Hey, has Leo won his Oscar yet?" And I'm like, "I don't know. We'll see."
Right.
Oh, everyone's standing. Turn this up. I want to hear this a little bit.
I can't. The
Oh,
remote.
there's
You
no
have to
remote.
walk to the.
All right. Well, that's why we got closed caption on. Thank you. Thank you. He's gonna keep saying thank you.
He's gonna keep saying
course
thank you.
he
I
is.
ate a
Is he gonna
bison
cry?
liver. Thank you.
I had a bison liver.
Slept in a dead horse.
I slept in a dead horse. Oh my God.
Fell off a horse.
Fell off a mount under a tree for the worst.
Tireless efforts. Is he gonna say labor of love? Do I have to take another shot? Oh, he didn't say it. Damn.
Tom Hardy to my brother.
This is crazy. It's like finally happening.
Dang. Look at that.
But yeah, I mean, again, when you're really looking at the YouTube, I mean, it's a problem. I mean, again, the thing is that the internet moves at breakneck speeds.
Mhm.
Again, like what happened with Twitter when people figured out that bots were existing on Twitter.
Yeah.
That and they clamped down on that and killed all the bots.
Mhm.
Right.
Again, I'm sure
this-
YouTube is working on this to
I-
figure
I'm
it
sure
out.
they are, and I'm not
here's
upset,
why
like-
I'm sure they're not. Because
Okay.
at the end of the day, they're a business that has to make money, and reaction channels make them money. They make them arguably more money than content creators because more eyes are actively on
But
those channels.
here's the thing. This is the difference. Is that if it was something like, hey, that's not fair, and then they go like, well, okay, they're gonna like they can't do anything about it. The biggest problem is that everybody's pointing out is not like, oh, that's not fair necessarily. It's the fact that they're breaking the community guidelines,
Right.
And like that's like it's like they're breaking your set of rules.
Yeah.
And you're not doing anything about it. Now,
Well,
I'm
this
on
is
the,
why they
I
won't do
agree with
anything
Rob-
about it because it makes them so much money.
Well,
I agree with
They're
Robert
still a
that I think
business.
they're gonna do something about
I
it. I
think
don't
they
think
do
they're that
something.
dumb.
Well, the thing is, again, remember Google, their parent company's slogan, "Do no evil."
Mhm.
And I mean, for the most part, Google's been good about it. They've told you that they track you. They have told you how AdSense works. They're trying to fix the internet
Right.
and take away these stupid takeover ads on pages
Thank God.
by creating a new code. I mean, they're doing a lot of things.
You know, the other day I had ad block on and I opened up a website and it said, "Hey, we noticed you're using ad block. And
Please
we're trying to
don't."
raise more money. If
Yeah.
if you could agree not
Mhm.
to, we would appreciate it. You can click yes, I'm going to, or no, screw you."
Yeah.
And I clicked yes, and I went and I whitelisted it because I appreciate that.
No,
they
no.
asked.
I mean,
It's good.
on the illegal website I was using last week
Mhm.
to view illegal cartoons somehow. They asked, "Hey, we know you're using blocker. Please don't. If you want to
That's
enjoy this
kinda
content."
dangerous that they're asking you not to block
Forbes
ads so
does
that they
that
can
too.
make
It's
money off
crazy.
of piracy.
The-
That's actually a felony.
Again, the thing is, I think here's the biggest question: is if what they're doing is considered a felony. Because the thing is, they might have agreements somewhere.
I doubt it. But if they had agreements, you'd be able to watch it somewhere legitimately.
The thing is, they have a paid subscription as well.
That's also a problem.
I don't know.
I think it's a matter of time before they get shut down. But then again, maybe it's like a Pirate Bay thing where they're in a place where it's okay
It's possible.
without looking into
Um,
it. Hey, more diversity. Morgan Freeman.
It has been
stands
diversity
on
for the
stage.
past 30 minutes. If you've noticed,
I've been glancing over.
But,
it. Just
most of the-
more diversity.
most of the presenters have been African American in the past 3 categories.
It's
4
a
categories.
knee-jerk reaction to public opinion. Not that that's a problem. I just in general. I think it's kinda funny.
He also supports Hillary Clinton, by the way.
Yeah. He can't
To
be-
get political.
they can't be perfect.
Oh, God.
He looks like he's about to cry. Maybe he's really happy for Leo, or he's still really sad about Alan Rickman and David Bowie.
Maybe all
Leonard
maybe all
Nimoy.
the diamonds behind him just
Blinded by the light.
blinded.
The bling.
Revved up. I love how we're talking about the Oscars. To
Absolutely.
people that are not paying attention to the Oscars.
It was bound to happen.
So we'll have to show you some of these
No,
examples of why it's.
the thing is, I get it.
slated.
I completely understand it.
But
like I
I
said-
feel like we're underselling how much of a problem.
No,
it is.
the thing is, I get the problem. I just where I'm coming from is always have to be careful. The thing is, if your content's really that good,
Mhm.
then put up a trailer on YouTube
But
and then go.
The thing
you
is,
know.
it doesn't really matter whether or not it's good or not because it still deserves.
No.
So
I'm
they
not.
still
I'm not
deserve to
saying.
get
I'm
paid.
not saying it's good or bad. I'm just
No,
saying.
I know, but it's irrelevant.
They know. But the thing is, if their content does generate that much viewers, then go get off of YouTube. Go to Vimeo. Go to somewhere where
But-
they will react quicker than YouTube.
but they're
will.
also not going to get paid for it.
But that's the problem. You see what I mean? Because the thing is that
Mhm.
it's like saying Time Warner sucks. It does. Go do something about it. We
But you
can't.
can't.
That's the thing.
Right.
Is the
But
thing,
that's how these people are as well.
If the thing is, if you don't want to deal with the situation, turn the radio off.
But that's not fair because these people.
I know. I'm not saying it is fair. I never said it was fair.
No, but it's beyond not fair. It's like saying tough shit.
That's exactly it.
But that's why.
Because the thing is,
Why?
they're using a service that they're not paying for.
No, dude, you're missing the point entirely if you still talk about the fact that they're using a free service. So are the people that are doing the reaction videos.
That's exactly
but
it.
They're getting paid for content that they didn't create.
No, but the thing is that I'm telling you, once these people put their stuff on YouTube, they don't own it anymore.
That's not about owning it.
Yes, it is.
The other person doesn't own it either. Why are they getting paid for it?
Because that's the exact.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Because the thing is that once
At what point when you put something on YouTube and you lose your right to own it, and YouTube owns it, does that mean that it's okay for somebody who didn't make it?
No, and I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying that it's gonna happen. You just have to be
But why should it?
Because that's how YouTube works.
No, that's not how YouTube
the problem
works.
again. The problem arises where it's not like, oh, like, hey guys, we made up the rules, so we have to enforce it on each other. YouTube made up the rules, and now we have to follow them. But that's the thing. It's like you can't. If it was our personal responsibility and we all said, okay, that's the thing is that but it's YouTube's community guidelines.
Right.
They're breaking the rules of a system that they're also a part of, and they're getting away with it because nobody's checking for it. Now, again, I understand that there's going to be manpower involved with checking it, and of course, it's also
content, mostly an automated system,
and it's also the content creator's responsibility as well to kind of look out for it.
But they shouldn't.
They shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to be in fear of losing that. The other problem is that even though they find it, they make these claims, and these claims go away. And the opposite happens where they get claims put on them, and then those guys win because they have higher viewership. And it's like, what the hell?
Right.
The other big one, but the thing is, it shifted recently. So I don't know if you heard of this chick named Gabby Hanna.
Mm-hmm.
She is this chick who she makes Vine videos and YouTube videos, and she's been flacked real hard for stealing people's jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Like really bad. Like some of them I saw, I'm like, get the hell out of here. I can't believe she did that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Louis C.K. from Louis C.K.
I don't know who this person is.
Thank God. So this guy named Doc on YouTube, he does reviews for channels, and he ripped the shit out of her and kind of destroyed her.
I like how you said crap and then had to stop yourself.
Because I'm upset about this because I swear when I was I apologize. I sorry, Robert. So the point being that this chick did all this stuff. This guy called her out on it, and then she sent a copyright claim saying that he used clips of her video, and he posted the copyright thing. He goes, since it's unsolicited, I could post it, and so he did it, and it said which video, all of it, and then she was like, okay, but the thing was that all of the things that he did were clips and were totally within the guidelines. And the best part was he posted the YouTube's email, message to him saying that the copyright claim, the claim that was on him is BS, and that they're not gonna that it's stupid.
Nice.
And there's apparently I didn't know this. I don't know if this is 100% true because I hear this a lot, but again, I don't know that filing a false copyright claim is not okay to do.
It's not okay to do, but they also don't punish you for it. That's the thing, because that's one of the problems it was the reaction channels were having, is that they would file the false copyright claims against the original content creators and they wouldn't be punished for it.
Right, but this time, this thing is this
Sam Pepper.
One
Sam Pepper's a guy that
people,
puts them out all the time, and he's never been punished because he's never been punished for taking revenue from other people that they deserve, and then YouTube says this was false, and they don't do anything.
Yeah,
they let these things go. So you could disrupt somebody else's day on a daily basis, sometimes across several accounts, and at no point do they say that Sam Pepper guy sure is putting out a lot of claims, and all of them end up being false.
It's crazy that you say
also,
that because Sam Pepper actually put out a video recently where it was a giant a little bit of a serious real apology video, and he called himself out saying I'm a fake and I'm a fraud.
Good.
Straight up, he's like, I don't. With all the crap that he did and all that stuff, it was kind of.
It doesn't matter now because he's already got 1 million followers. Yeah, it's not like admitting that is going to set him to ground zero.
It wasn't just about admitting about himself, but he was saying that I can't name names, but all of those people that are doing the same thing we are, and and it's a real thing. And I'm saying this from a guy who was a part of this system, and now now that I'm not doing it anymore, I'm quitting YouTube, and this is what it is.
Good.
And I was like, holy crap.
The thing is, I have no sympathy for him because he already made his money. But good that he's not going to continue doing.
Well, and I don't have sympathy for him either, but I respect that. Like,
Oh, what ended up?
I
doing
was
Best
thinking the
Picture,
same
by
thing
way?
right now when you
'Cause
guys are talking.
Leo got off stage, and next thing I knew, they were all hugging, and Chris Rock
Yeah,
had
I'll
some
just
cookies in his
have
hand.
all the winners come out. And then
But
they drop
do we know who
sponsors.
won for Best Picture?
I don't.
I'm gonna have Garen furiously Google
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
for me.
Googling it.
Awesome.
And then again, what I'm just to go back,
Mhm.
what I think is it's wrong.
Mhm.
I'm just saying I think people need to be
Spotlight.
careful.
Spotlight. Okay.
Hey, no kidding.
Yep.
I think people need to be careful about again where they're posting. I'm not saying that
Right.
they should be victimized the way they are, and so like I'm playing devil's advocate here for a bit too, but at the same time, like you have to be careful where you're posting it.
I just don't agree with that.
I know
Because to me, that's like
It
that's
is.
like saying that women need to watch out and try not to get raped instead of saying men need to stop raping.
no
women. To me personally, that's how I
that's
feel
true.
about
But
that.
the thing is, I keep going back to this argument, and I know you hate me doing that, but and we're going in circles a little bit because the thing is, again, it's a free service.
But that's so
I-
separate.
I-
that's like saying that the road
no,
that
'cause
the
the
roads are
thing
paid for by
is-
taxpayer money.
But
No,
it's
but
not,
the thing
it's
is-
not,
no,
it's not
no,
necessarily
no,
a free service because you might be putting money into the production you're making.
No,
so
no,
you're still
and
putting
you're
money,
also
you're just
making
not
them
paying-
money as,
no,
as a content creator. You're making money for
but then
YouTube.
that's the agreement. That's the agreement that you make, that whatever you put up can be put ads and stuff
But
like
here's
that.
the problem: is that if I make the video that's great and that gets reacted to, and I make my 30,000
Yes.
piddly little views, and that's it, the video then goes to one of the reaction channels who gets 1 million views because that's just what they generate.
I get
My content still makes money for YouTube in somebody else's hands, and then
Yes.
I am not getting paid for it.
no, but that's that's the point I'm trying to make, and
Mhm.
why I keep going back to the money,
Mhm.
because if you were paying, again, part of the entire production cost
Mhm.
was paying to host the video,
Right.
and then you had control over it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People
but
could still steal it, but then you have a larger legal precedent to go after these people that are actually.
I mean, intellectual property doesn't matter whether you're on ABC or YouTube or just on your own little website. At the end of the day, those laws in America apply no matter where you are.
Right.
So it's kind of a moot point a little bit.
Again, if that's the point, then they need to document and make sure they react before they attack this person.
Right.
So they had all the evidence and proof to go take them to the court of law. If that's really where it needs to go to,
Right.
or have
but,
a class action law.
but none of these people have the money to do that.
But
And they shouldn't have to be victims of this thing just because they can't afford to not be victims.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
the
Especially if they've been given a platform.
The thing is we could always yell. We could yell at YouTube all we want,
Mhm.
but again, they're a large company into making money,
but
and
they also have the power to change it.
I mean,
Because it's not even like they have to go with the law of the land, because they make
no,
their
that's
own
true.
rules.
But at the same time, they can't they can't react too quickly, because there are people
Mhm.
still making legitimate React videos and going, and that's the thing.
Right.
But they're not breaking the rules that
No,
YouTube set for them.
no.
though.
But that's the problem, is that
Mhm.
sometimes you have a problem of overcorrecting.
Right.
Is that you
Which
go?
we don't
you-
want either.
Exactly. Is
Okay, I
that
see what you're
you go in there, and if they create either an algorithm or have people go in there, it's like what happened
Right.
with NBC
Mhm.
with YouTube long time ago in the before land.
Right. When NBC still had a presence on YouTube.
Exactly. And so
Yeah.
basically they put up their own videos and then yelled at YouTube for having copyright content on YouTube, but NBC was the one that put it up.
Yeah. That
It-
was embarrassing.
You know, but it's kind of the
Mhm.
same thing. It's like
Th-
where
th-
everyone
this
got mad at
is-
YouTube for like stealing things, but
Right.
it was the person, and I get it. It's not
This
the
is
same.
this is where the
but-
argument heads, because it's not that they want. I mean, obviously the idea would be like snap your fingers and fix it. That's not what they want. What they're asking for in like a general, like they kind of way,
people
is-
affected
right,
by the
is
situation.
one, to fix the copyright claim system because it's already working in favor of the businesses who
Right.
basically come in and they file it and that's it. It's automated. You don't do anything. So a little more oversight in that realm. Number two, the system works, like I said, where if you file the claim,
Mhm.
you only get the money that is from the point that you have the claim onward, which means the bulk of the money that's been made on the video is already in the pocket of the person who made it.
It's already too
So
late.
so there needs to be a delay and there needs to be some back pay. Not
But-
back pay necessarily,
but again, that's the big thing there, where again, people that are going after these, they need to start documenting. And I get it that you
Yeah.
might not know.
Mhm.
The thing is that if you see the video there,
Mhm.
start screen capping as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, once that video is deleted, and I don't know for sure,
Mhm.
but I'm guessing that all the analytics and stuff behind that, because that's what, again, when I went to go, because we had 2 YouTube channels for a while, and our old YouTube channel had some old videos.
Mhm.
I went there and I deleted it. And when I went to go delete it,
Mhm.
they're telling me, by the way, all your videos and all the hits and stuff attached to it is
Mhm.
gonna go bye-bye. We're not gonna keep this. Like that's
Yeah.
pointless to us. So again, if the person goes there and deletes the video, YouTube loses all the details for them to even anything. So and I'm assuming, again, this is just me assuming. I don't know the concrete details in front of me, but I'm assuming that YouTube, once the claim is tracked, they start caching the hits.
That's what they do, and that's also why the channels delete the videos as fast as possible, because they are no longer making money, and they don't want the other person.
And so exactly. So and that's what I'm saying. And I know it's hard when you're a victim, but at the same time, you got to start taking an offensive, and it's hard to do sometimes. But the thing is, before you alert them.
The idea, though, is to change the system so that doesn't have to happen.
But the thing is, I can't promise you, but I can almost
make it unprofitable to do that.
And that's the thing, is I can almost guarantee you that YouTube is trying to do that.
Right. Because the thing is, if they did it in a way that these claims that were filed against you were the kind of thing where if it happens too many times, as in like 3 or 5 or whatever,
right, it's excessive,
and then that's it, and you lose, game over, good day, sir. These people would stop doing it in a heartbeat, because they wouldn't want to be threatening their livelihood, or they would work harder at doing it the right way and not the wrong way. But YouTube's not doing that. So that's one of the things they want to change.
But also, how long has this problem been?
It's apparently been a problem for years. It's only just now being brought awareness.
Exposed on a mass level.
I've always hated these guys, and they're fucking on Facebook too. There's a guy named Chili69 Palmer. I've even complained about him on the show. He has a video. He does videos where there's a line right down the middle. He's on one side of the video, and the actual video's on the other, and he stares at the lens. And then every once in a while, he looks off to the left and kind of smirks or makes a face. And then he always has this look, because he's old and black and he's got bags under his eyes, that he is tired of the foolishness that's happening on the screen. And he's always reacting to videos where people are being really dumb. But what you're looking at in the video is the people being dumb. And his ugly mug next to that is kind of funny, but it's not effort. And at the end of the day, if he was doing that on his own, nobody would care. This guy makes a video. He makes like 2 videos a day at his peak. And last time I checked, he was doing like, I think 3 a week, because he was taking a break, but he does videos freaking constantly. And they get millions of views a piece, because they go all over Facebook. Because you share it on Facebook, and it's going to get a view whether you want it to or not.
But I'm quickly thumbing through an article here as well on that. That's another problem that YouTube is facing, is that the content is being transferred from Facebook. I mean, from YouTube to Facebook.
Right, and that's
Facebook.
actually something that Great Andre also talked about. I think, was it him or was it somebody else?
It was Ethan Klein, I think.
One of these guys had one of their videos where like other content creator or other reaction channels on YouTube got a hold of it. It got like 1 million views, but it went onto Facebook and got 12 million views, which was even more than all the other views from all the other channels combined. And he didn't see a dime of it. And it was an aggregate channel, like Funniest Vines or some shit like that, that got all of the ad revenue from that. I don't know how the ad revenue works on Facebook video, but they're the ones that got the attention for it.
There isn't a lot of it.
And another thing that I'm sick of is when somebody reposts a video and it's a widescreen video, but they put it on Facebook, which is a square-shaped player, and then in the top and the bottom of the title bars, they put like, my reaction when, or whatever, and they again steal the video, put a funny caption on it, and then let the video play in its entirety, because the caption is not what makes it funny. The fucking video is funny on its own, and somebody else is capitalizing on it. And they're fucking barnacles on the bottom of steamships. I'm so sick of them.
No, absolutely. And again, that's the thing, is that I'm sure that there's a solution, especially since there's more of an outcry now that's coming, and I can't imagine that YouTube would just sit here.
I'm sure it's coming. The question is going to be how severe is it? Because you don't want to overcorrect. But at the same time, these guys are essentially getting away with not literally murder.
No, theft.
But
it's literally theft.
They're getting away with theft. And they're in the same way that in certain countries, there's no copyright laws. And so they have malls full of pirated videos, and that's their economy is based on piracy. That's what's going on here.
Again,
with people that make staggering amounts of money for no effort.
Again, it's also the question of tracking where they're coming from and where they are and stuff like that. Again, it's a really tricky kind of thing. And again, that's why because the thing is that if they go after some of these people and who knows where they are, they could be hit with it's not freedom of speech, freedom of the internet, where basically if they take down someone else's video, it was like, oh no, again, it gets into this really murky.
That's why what they want to do is not do anything retroactive, because of course that's impossible and that's way too much to track, but to put in new rules and new regulations and then enforce them heavily that say like, this is no longer okay. And then these people either find a new scam or they go away. Also, Garen, did you notice, and I think this is maybe because Grade A Andre is just a tiny bit racist, but did you notice that every single one of the reaction channels he was talking about was black?
Also I thought that too. I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. And apparently he's black too. I didn't know this.
Grades up black?
I think he's like half black or something.
Oh, okay.
And
That's not
so-
racist anymore.
I don't know. Or no, it's still kind of is. Well, the point being that
It's diversity,
he targets
yeah, I heard.
those two dudes, Jinx and this other dude, is
Uh-huh.
because they're the only ones that commented back to him after he calling them out.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why he makes fun of them even more.
Yeah.
And it's so like
But because I've seen plenty of other reaction channels, though, and every single one of them tends to be somebody black. I don't know why.
The thing is, I
Maybe
also
they're just the
love.
more popular ones.
I'm looking, and now like I looked up YouTube reaction stealing,
Mhm.
and so I found out like 4th level reaction.
Like a reaction to a reaction. to a
reaction watching
it gets deep.
reacting. Like, I'm like, this is some like Inception.
here's the other thing that
A
Facebook
silent
thing.
reaction. I still
That
can't get over
Facebook thing that was Ethan Klein, the dude that
Mhm.
does the H3H3 Productions.
Mhm.
Him and his wife do that thing, and they make funny videos. But they do reaction videos too, kind of. But the thing is like he does commentary in between and does
Right.
separate cuts, and like he's
Which
an advocate of that.
at least there's a little bit of effort behind that, but I think even at the end of the day, the most effort you could put into a reaction video, it's still fundamentally based on the content they're reacting
No,
on,
right, of course, and like that, and
even
that-
if it's a freaking movie trailer.
But this is the funny thing was that so this is what happened recently, and I thought this was crazy too, and crazy weird.
Mhm.
And I looked it up too to just make sure it was true. So that dude Ethan Klein
Mhm.
he loves making fun of SoFlo, that dude SlowFlo, and
Yeah,
so he
I just know his name. I don't know who
he
he
made a
is.
page on Facebook as a parody page of the guy SoFlo Antonio.
Did it say no flow?
Like I was like no, like SoFlo yo or something like that, like something funny. Like he made a fake Facebook page, and like a bunch of people liked his page, like maybe like
Mhm.
50, 60,000, whatever. It was a small group of his fan base, and he would just post like stupid memes of SoFlo. So what happened was eventually he found out that the page got deleted without warning.
Uh-oh.
And then so he's like, and he said something in the beginning like, okay, like I understood that. Like I'm not gonna get upset about the page getting taken down because I probably was breaking some rules. He's like,
Right.
but I'm okay with it. But then he goes, he said he went on Reddit and I went on their page to make sure
Uh-huh.
that somebody put a thread up there saying, hey, did anybody else notice that your like from like you liking the fake SoFlo page went to the real SoFlo page? And so it turns out that Facebook not only deleted the channel, the page, but they
Oh.
transferred all the likes from the fake page to the real page.
You know what?
And that guy gained 50, 60,000 people.
You know
like,
what
for
the
page.
amazing thing about that is? There have been a number of times in my life on Facebook where I've all of a sudden gotten some shit on my timeline that I've never seen before. Pages that I would have never, ever liked for any reason ever. Like mortgage rates or coolest car crashes. Actually, I might have liked that one. Stuff like that. And I always looked at myself and I said, where did this come from? It would not surprise me if something like that, where a page gets deleted and then those views get moved over because of false claims, and the person that owns the original page is just some idiot that made it and took 2 seconds to make the page and then left it, and then it sat there uncontested for a while. Man,
So
that's crazy that can happen.
it goes like into this bigger like train of thought, like
Mhm.
trail of events. So what happens is that the first thing was that dude gets hit. That dude SoFlo
And
gets hit.
what
with
if
a
you
bunch of
really
stuff.
were a guy whose name was No Flow and you actually were trying to do that?
You
and
can
it was-
dispute it.
It was the
Yeah,
same
you
way
can
as
dis-
like
you can
as,
dispute it.
as what was it? It was not Starbucks or BS Starbucks or
Yeah.
dumb Starbucks.
Dumb Starbucks, yeah.
Yeah.
Nathan Fielder did that, right? That was Nathan Fielder?
Who?
Comedian?
No, some artist. I don't know.
No, I think it was the comedian who did that. For
Well,
the
you said
show.
Nathan Fillion.
Fielder.
I don't know who that is.
Fields. Oh.
So whatever. Anyway, so the idea was that. So what happened was that that SoFlo dude got a bunch of claims on his Facebook page for stealing videos.
Mhm.
So what ended up happening was he stopped putting videos up like that and ended up putting videos up from another Facebook page and ended up crediting it. So, but the thing is, if you look on the Facebook page that he's crediting,
Mhm.
no profile picture, no thing. It was a dummy page, and the
That he made
page's
to
name
put-
was literally like GJFT like that. Like wasn't a name.
Right.
Yeah, basically a dupe.
So he made a fake page to put the stuff on to fake credit.
But there
the-
was no
oh.
there was no proof of it
Uh-huh.
until the video game. So there's that guy called the video game attorney.
Yeah.
Like he's like
That guy's great. That's the same guy we referenced his article a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the original Fine Brothers nonsense.
Yeah.
And he went on and said that he was gonna represent anybody that felt that they were affected by
He's
that.
he didn't comment on directly, but he also said that he might be like indirectly said he might be a part of the whole Gabby Hanna case.
I don't know who that is.
The chick I was talking about.
Right,
earlier.
got it.
He was talking, and so but the point was like, so him and Ethan did like a co-video kind of thing where they said like, okay, I got all these emails, and because I found out that that it's unsolicited, I could show them. So
What does that mean? Because you said that earlier.
Unsolicited means something like
He didn't ask for it.
Yeah, he
Right.
basically asked for it. So basically,
Well, I know what unsolicited means, but
Yeah.
where's the legal standing between whether you can or cannot show an email?
because he was sent those emails by the SOFO people saying
Right.
we're going to sue you.
and so basically, since he didn't
But
ask or didn't
aren't
request
all
it,
of them solicited then? Because who says send me an email telling me you're going to sue me?
I mean, the thing is that it wasn't. It's not protected by any like privacy
any
law.
any automatic confidentiality
Yeah.
between. Okay.
because it wasn't part of an agreement.
Got
or
it.
like
Now,
discussion.
who sent the email could be protected, and that's why it was blanked out. And whenever
Right.
the emails
But the
were shown.
content of
but
the
the content
email.
of the email doesn't have to be
Because it's the same as walking down the street and somebody flashes their dick at you or hands you a flyer.
right.
Like
So
at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want.
Basically,
with it, you throw
yeah.
it away.
Unsolicited information is basically again public domain.
Okay.
Technically
Yeah.
public.
I
domain.
didn't know that.
So
That's
what
interesting.
happened
Yeah.
was he got these emails.
That's
and-
why the cell phones and the encryptions. That's why it's
Yeah.
all
yeah,
encrypted.
that's what the big deal is with that. And so the idea is getting these emails, right? And these emails say something like, "Hey, like we want you to take it down, or else we'll go with some legal actions." And he didn't reply. And he got another email like right after saying like, "Okay, we're gonna you're not taking it seriously, so we're gonna take legal action."
Mhm.
Didn't reply again. And then he kept getting a bunch of emails showing these things like, like you're messing with people's investments and money into the brand and blah blah blah. And then eventually he goes, this is when somebody slipped up saying that they mentioned the page, right, of whatever the thing actually works in our office. So so somebody messed up,
Wow.
and they asked him
out of rage. I'm
out of
sure.
rage,
That
yeah.
seems like the easiest thing not to screw up.
yeah.
Sure.
And
My
so what
God.
happened
No,
was
here's the thing: is that a lot of times in these kind of situations,
Mhm.
is people think that they get strong arm and
Yeah.
browbeat somebody, not realizing that the thing is the biggest thing is that the only time someone's gonna have a case against you is when you give them the information.
Yeah.
exactly. And
If
they
if
messed
they
up.
have just sat there and did nothing,
Mhm.
and because the thing is going against them, and let me put this two ways: if someone's serious about taking you down, they already have all the information, and they're gonna take you down.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
gonna come after you.
You're gonna find out
That's-
about it a month later
that-
when they serve you the papers.
That happened with
Oh,
podcasting
Mm.
about a year ago.
The patent trolls.
As the patent trolls came in and said that they patented podcasting
Mhm.
and that they were going to go to the courts if you didn't pay up this much money. The thing is, the way patent trolls work, we all know, is they always go for enough money to where it's not going to be profitable
Yeah.
for you to take litigation. That's the thing, is that again, if that was true, then people have already moved forward on that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like the
Right.
thing is, nobody waits unless they're absolutely 100%. No one's that nice. I'm sorry.
No, it's you're right, but like I understand what you're saying, but I just find it really funny that
No, they're
that's-
trying to smoke them out. That's
and it's-
exactly what happened. And they
it's-
slipped.
and they slipped, and it was just in hilarious fashion.
Absolutely.
And like, how could you
This guy works in our office.
like? How could you admit that? Like,
Because-
you're-
and how does that even help?
the
Well,
thing,
no,
like-
because the thing is, I'm sure is that this office was probably some
Uh-huh.
big and backed by some litigation, or maybe like, if he works in this office, they probably have a legal team or
Right.
something like that. Again, I'm telling you, it
But
was
they were
all scare
contacting the
tactics.
video game lawyer.
But that's the thing, is
weren't
that it was
no, they were contacting Ethan, and then
Oh, right.
but like he was
Yeah.
there with them, like, and so,
and I'm telling you it was all a scare tactic.
Mhm.
And it's like, if he works in our office, that means he's gonna be like, okay. So when your lawyers call me
Exactly.
with telling me that there's a problem, then we could talk.
Mhm.
and so then the
Unless it was a lawyer saying that, and the thing is, emails wouldn't send. No lawyer is stupid enough to do threatening things through email. They'll call you, so it's not trackable.
yeah, so video game when he did his AMA on Reddit, like someone asked him about that, like, what do you think that was? Do you think that was like they did that on purpose? Like there was a thing behind it, and he said something like, honestly, that was just somebody who slipped up and messed up, like out of
Absolutely.
rage. Like he goes, I can't see any advantage they would gain by saying that.
Yeah, that's
out.
my thought.
Somebody just got
Yeah.
upset, and the best part was like that. An email claiming to be that channel, claiming that dummy Facebook page emailed Ethan Klein saying like, hey man, like I saw you were talking about me on your video, maybe maybe we should collab sometime. And then he comment it showed the little email on the bottom like, dude, like your friend blank, like covered it up, said that you work in his office. He goes, yeah, I've never got a reply yet. And then so it's funny that like, and then
They're
confirmed it all too,
yeah,
like,
and
it was
they're
like,
trying
yeah,
to bait
dude.
him in.
And so it's funny. He's like, this is crazy that this is that, and insane that it's happening like this.
I mean, honestly,
And, so
and I know this might be a little bit hard and it might not work for everybody,
Mhm.
but watermarking
On what?
on YouTube videos and stuff like that.
I
as
mean,
well.
the thing is, it doesn't solve anything because at the end of the day, the watermark can't be obstructing the content. Otherwise, people wouldn't look at the content. And when you put it in a small little corner or this big, it doesn't lead anybody back to the video. It doesn't give you the view.
But no, that's the thing. I've seen people, at least with stuff like that, do pretty smart, like, especially when it's like someone falling or something like that.
Right.
Like, well enough to where it doesn't obstruct, it's like clear enough, but at the same time it's there.
But it doesn't help. Because nobody's going to say, oh, there's a watermark on that video. I better go to the original channel. Because if they did, they would already be going to the original channel.
The thing is, it might help your case for, again, going for the copyright.
Well, their case is helped automatically by nature of being the first one to upload the video. And by they can prove for any number of reasons. And it's not about claiming the copyright. It's about
then claim to me why the bigger channels with the more views are winning.
They're winning.
And these disputes.
They're winning because it's an automated system. Because having a watermark doesn't do anything.
Well, no, but that's the thing is that the thing is when if you go through the automated system, that's fine. But you could actually go in and call YouTube as well.
You can,
and you could set up. And I get it that every day you wait is waste of money. But there are processes you could go through.
And at the end of the day, I don't think anybody's been royally screwed except for the people whose channels have been removed because large reaction channels gang up on them and then they strong arm them out by way of abusing the system. But that's only part of the problem because at the end of the day, like, yeah, you could get the copyright claim done, but it's the same mentality for making money on YouTube with these channels that marketing companies have towards releasing terrible films and getting all of their money back in the first weekend before anybody's had a chance to say the film is terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a fire sale.
Yeah, no,
where
absolutely.
They get 1 million views in a day. And if the video gets deleted tomorrow, it doesn't matter because they already got their 1 million views.
Right. Well, the thing I've also seen, and this has happened on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and a bunch of these other companies, is that they'll put your entire account on hold.
Which is what they should do, but they don't.
No, well, the thing is, I've seen this for different reasons, not for copyright, but I mean they will. And the thing is, they'll put on hold until it's resolved. Right. So I mean, that's again, it's a question of.
The other thing too is even if they did that, the creators, not the creators, but the reaction channels still have the power to just delete the video and then it goes away. But
the thing is that they can delete the video, but the thing is I'm not talking about that actual account. I'm talking about like their financials and stuff like that.
That's what it should do, honestly. Yeah,
and if they start, I've seen that done before to YouTube. Like, I've seen YouTubers that do something that
other things like reposting music videos or pirating films.
No. It's none of that. The thing is that the couple of cases I've seen were content they actually generated, but there are people there that claim the content was adult because they had a little bit too much cleavage or too much skin.
Is also something that's happened. Oh, that's another thing is that they do false flagging. The reaction channels will do false flagging on the people who create the original content so that they can't get paid for it.
And so that's what I'm saying is that I've seen people that's happened to, like the people who actually generate content stuff like that. Right. There's someone who thought that it was either too risky or whatever, flagged it, and basically their entire account and even their PayPal account that was associated with the what is it called, the monetization got frozen. Yeah. Even though that PayPal account wasn't like for the YouTube channel, it was their actual personal PayPal account.
Right. It's just the one that it was attached to. But that's the kind of thing that it needs to happen more to the people that are breaking the rules, but it also needs to not happen as much for the people that aren't breaking the rules. Again, and that's where the argument comes in. That's why people are up in arms, because there's no consistent treatment. Like, I'll give you an example. There's a way that you can file claims on YouTube and also Facebook, and I've done it on both, for videos that are like violent, like excessively violent and stuff like that. And I'm talking like videos of animals being lit on fire or thrown off of tall buildings.
Or like gruesome accidents.
Like there was a video where a cat was like on the 12th story of a Vegas hotel and they were trying to save it and it jumped and it fell and it hit a table and it was like a loud thud that echoed through the whole hotel. I was like, that's horrible. So I reported it for being violent and awful, and flagged it, I think, for animal abuse or something like that. I got an email like 5 minutes later, like, we reviewed the video and found that it was not against our terms of service. I'm like, really?
That's the biggest problem is that, and this is something I heard on Twitch that they're actually discussing, where like, again, YouTube or Facebook wouldn't be taking down certain videos because, I mean, the thing is that was an actual person doing it.
Right.
And like it was a
cat
bad
doing it to itself.
But at the same time, it also falls under freedom of speech. I know that's the thing is that if you start taking videos like that,
But here's the thing though, freedom of speech and this is the area where I refer back to the thing about copyright law.
Uh-huh.
Freedom of speech only applies when it's in reference to the government.
No.
Yes,
But
it's mostly about the government censoring you, mostly.
But no,
it also applies to like
private
violence,
but or
and stuff like that.
also corporations.
Fighting words, I think. Yeah.
But and that's the thing is that if YouTube or Facebook takes it down,
Mhm.
it could be seen as them censoring what you put up.
But Twitter does that all the time, and nobody ever gets hold of that.
It's not necessarily because
that again that's the problem. That's a big problem Twitter has been having. That's why instead of actually taking down the tweet, they hide it from the person that's either assaulting or offending.
Right.
Instead of it actually being taken down. That was the big problem that Twitter was having.
Yeah,
was the fact that people were threatening somebody.
The thing is, they also have their own rules. You have the right in this country, in the same way that you have the right to refuse service to anyone if they enter your store and you don't like the way they look or they're not wearing shoes.
Right.
These websites have the right to say we will not allow this content on our website.
They do.
And if it violates their terms, they don't give a fuck about free speech because it still violates their terms.
But that's the thing is that a lot of the times that isn't exactly violating the terms.
Well, it is when they say don't upload videos of excessive violence or abuse or whatever. But again, it depends on whether the problem at the end of the day is whether it's violating the claims or not. No, let me rephrase that. At the end of the day, the argument that's being made is that in examples where it is a clear-cut violation of the terms, they still allow it. Whether it's a reaction video or hate speech or whatever, specifically in this case, reaction videos, they allow it because their system, and I understand that their system, it's a huge website and they can't be everywhere at once, but you would think that they would pay more special attention to the people that were making them money, and yet it seems like they don't.
The other thing that I think about, and I give YouTube a little bit of sympathy about this, is that they're relatively young. The fact that YouTube became this gigantic in 10 years is incredible, and it's great that there is a platform like that for people to go and create stuff. That's awesome. And of course you have to accept the good with the evil, but the thing is now that we know better, and I think that and I give them sympathy that, okay, like, look, I give them a little bit of leg room. Like, you could, if you fix this now, or if you try to take steps to fix this now, it's acceptable. The reason people are pissed off is people are pissed off and not because, oh, YouTube's been doing this forever and blah blah blah. Well, dude, like, come on, like, this is
how long is forever?
How long is forever? But I don't think a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are just pissed off, saying that, hey, YouTube, like, we know you're not. No one's saying, hey, F you, YouTube. They're saying, YouTube, come on. Like, some people are, but a lot of people are just like, no, YouTube, like, come on, like, we believe in you. Like, you got to
that's why they're there.
And again, that's why, like I said, they're working on it. Again, the thing is, you have to go back.
There's a question though, because there's no evidence to say that they are working on it. In fact, what's her first name? Stephanie. Last name Wojcicki, the CEO, whatever. The CEO of YouTube, people have been hammering her for like a week now, saying, when are you going to respond to this? And she hasn't said anything.
Well, but because
she hasn't even said we're aware and we're working on it.
That's the thing is that, again, they have to be really careful about it, because the thing is, they don't want to say we're aware and working on it, and then people start hammering her, when is it coming out? When is it coming out? When is it coming out?
Well, that's why the thing to say is, I am aware that people are saying this.
Right.
Or come up with a statement. I mean, the thing is, whether they're going to fix something or not, they sort of have an obligation as a publicly traded company, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure they are. Wait, are they publicly traded? I know Netflix is, and they just entered the Fortune 500.
No, I don't think so.
Well, she said a tweet, like...
No, they're not, because they're Alphabet.
She tweeted about... What day is it today? The 28th?
Today's 28th.
So 2 days ago on the 26th, she tweeted something.
Oh, finally.
She tweeted something saying, thank you, YouTube community, for all the feedback. We're listening.
Okay.
So, but that's what I'm saying. The thing is that people wanted it to happen 2 days or in.
Well, they've been hammering her for a week, and it took her a week to respond.
The thing is, week is, again, I think is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's 7 days. You know, their holiday was their holiday. I don't know.
President's Day, maybe.
I mean, but that's the thing is, again. They can't react all the way. They have to look at it, you know?
Of course not. But by the same token, there's a particular hashtag inspired by somebody, it was actually Grade, who came in and said, I encourage you. I'm not the type of person to encourage you to do something, but I'd like to think that if this was a problem for you, you would go to this person's Twitter and say this thing to her. And so that naturally everybody.
And hashtag saying something.
And that was 2 weeks after the last video he made, which was late in the game in regards to people actually complaining about this issue. So even though it's been a week of tweeting, it's probably been a month of outrage.
Right.
It's
they are Alphabet is a publicly traded company.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, they have shareholders. They don't really care what the community thinks. This was, I think, a College Humor video about YouTube's response to the whatever the hashtag is, and they basically said like, we're a soulless corporation and we answered our shareholders, and I'm here to tell you hashtag we don't give a shit. It was pretty funny.
I don't know. I think they're gonna. I think they could do something.
The thing is, I'm sure they're working on it. The thing is, I'm sure because and that's the other issue or other problem. And I'm not saying this is bad or good. I'm just saying it to say it, is that there have been times where YouTube has done and changed something and affected a lot of people, more people and then everyone goes fucking bonkers over it.
Because they have to be careful, because the other thing that they're doing, the claim system is directly responsible for corporations and studios and musicians and TV people and all of them for anti-piracy. So they have to be very careful that while protecting their content creators, they're not also screwing the studios, which are giving them the money. So I could see that taking a while. And even if they had a knee-jerk reaction and fixed it in a day, they have something to the tune of 24 servers, like server hubs across the planet. Plus, and this has to go on to every single one of them.
Right.
So even if they changed it overnight, it would still take a week to be implemented.
If not longer.
Which is fine. And I understand that progress, like... we had this conversation about something else, no. But I understand. And
crap! Did I just miss something funny?
No, it was what we were talking about on Saturday, Friday. But meaning that yes, I understand progress is slow, and have to extend. And I get that progress is slow, and I'll wait for it. It's just I'd rather have slow progress than nothing at all, and I just hope that. I hope their response into starting that progress is sooner.
Let's look at the other problem that again YouTube had a while ago. Like again, this was in November, September, December, around there, where people were being sued because they were doing comment videos or reaction videos, and basically they were being strong-armed instead of people going to YouTube and talking to YouTube to take it down. People were threatening to sue the content creators over content that they had posted that was within fair use and wasn't breaking any of the laws.
Right.
And basically when YouTube came out and says like, hey, we have these lawyers, and if your claim is, we're going to review your claim.
We reviewed that on the show.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
And so basically YouTube said, if your claim is just, we will hire and pay for your lawyers to fight that company. And so again, that's the thing is, again, you have to wait, because I'm sure that problem was existing since who knows how long. It takes a while for them to get everything in place and to execute it.
Right.
Also, the other thing that I heard that was kind of like, I don't know how to feel about it, but I understand where the sentiment's coming from, is that there's a sense of hypocrisy in there as well, because a lot of people, like someone pointed, I think it was Gray that pointed it out too, was the idea that, okay, of course there's also hypocrisy in taking like a giant corporation's channel and taking one of their videos and reacting to it, and people not calling them out, because of course you're thinking, oh, they're a giant major company.
They have the money, right? They're
but
not
still,
being
it's
hurt.
the same thing, because it's like you can't pick and choose just because of how much, whether it's a corporation or the creators. That's
exactly the thing is when you're looking at is how often pirates are pirates. No matter on what scale you're doing it, a pirate is pirate.
Exactly, and it's like, and
I could guarantee.
Pirate's life for me.
But no, but the thing is, I can guarantee that how many people are there is their content being stolen. How many people stole and downloaded off of LimeWire and Napster?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm not saying that obviously one of them did, but I'm just saying that now you kind of know how it feels a little bit.
Times were different back then.
No, they weren't. Don't use that one on me.
It was different, but
bullshit.
No, I'm saying it was different because we were ignorant to what was going on.
What? Because we didn't have the money?
No, that's what I'll say. That's what I'll say.
We were ignorant to the idea that we were damaging
so,
other people's property.
So I'm telling you, if a 5-year-old steals a video and makes a reaction to that,
well, it's not 5-year-olds though.
It is grown ass adults.
No. But I'm saying that with your logic about not knowing better, if a 5-year-old does it and they get a bunch of views,
they're also not getting paid because they can't, because they're 5 years old.
But what if their parents up the account?
Then you feud it. You dispute it, and they stop getting paid. But the 5-year-old's not going to be so
but
petty as to say
the parents are handling
but here's the thing.
No. Again, the thing is, again, I'm just saying is that the thing is, you guys are trying to argue it's different. I'm still saying I'm not saying the 5-year-old. I'm just saying stealing music back then and even now, because I know a lot of people now who don't pay for their music.
Right, and that's a problem. Here's
or
why,
videos or movies or games.
Here's why it was different back then. When it first started happening, when it was like the dawn of the internet. Well, not the dawn of the internet, but when it was like
so
early,
in 1980,
when it was like mid 90s internet, early 2000s internet,
the dawn of the modern
and
internet.
And Napster and LimeWire and Emule. Anybody remember Emule?
Yeah, the
Emule had the coolest logo.
Oh,
like they changed their logo every version. Anyway, So when those were around, specifically Napster,
Mhm.
it was like, hey, did you know there's this thing out there called Napster, and you can get free music that you could play on your computer? And they went, wow, really? It's free?
But
and nobody had any clue that it was
that's
illegal.
fine. You know, I completely agree with you there. Napster, I'll give you a pass on Napster. But if you went to BearShare, LimeWire, and Torrent, BearShare was like LimeWire, but it was like before LimeWire.
Yeah.
Or Raspberry or FreezeWire. If you went to any of those and used it, which I can guarantee you, everybody in this room used LimeWire because they said Napster was cool. I want more free music.
I actually use LimeWire for videos, and it wasn't like, because you could search for whatever in LimeWire, so you could search like funny video, and that's where I found so many like videos of like a dude who's lying on his back and he puts his legs behind his head and he tries to light a fart and he shits on his lighter. That was the first video that I got on LimeWire.
Oh god,
that's what I was constantly on LimeWire for stuff like that. The music video for Tenacious D's. There's no delicate way to say fuck her gently.
Yeah, Zanzibar. It was Zanzibar.
Yeah. That there was all sorts of stuff like that I was finding, but I didn't really go for music personally. But I know a lot of people did. But a lot of people went for porn. And
video games and stuff like that.
I was afraid to do programs myself.
I did programs and it bit me in the butt, so let's just not go there.
Yeah.
But again, that's the thing is that I guess I'll give you a pass on Napster, but everything after Napster was no longer
right. Once Metallica started making a stink about it publicly, then you go, oh, okay.
Or the minute that commercial about the kid not the Grips kid not having glasses because you pirated it. Yeah, because you pirated a movie.
Yeah.
Then it got a little real.
Yeah, I love South Park's interpretation of that too. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So where they're like Lars Ulrich. So why is he crying? And like he's in his big mansion, like Lars Ulrich wanted a giant gold-plated shark tank installed, but because of you pirating his music, he has to wait.
I mean, that's
because of you pirating her music, she has to get the F5 and not the F7.
It's like the Gulfstream 3 doesn't have a remote control
again,
for the surround sound system.
That's also very true, but at the same time, that's kind of the same deal. Is that once it's pirated, it's pirating.
Yeah.
Now, if you're stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, or being the poor, whatever you want to call it.
See, that's the difference too, is that there's a difference between getting something for free because it's convenient, because the other alternative is frustrating and they won't play ball, and so you're sticking to the man, and getting something for free so you take money away from something, and then also giving money to somebody who doesn't deserve it. Like there's a lot of gray areas in that as well.
But again,
when pirates steal oil, they don't feel, because of how much oil is shipped constantly, they don't really feel it. It's just also frustrating that people are making money off of something that's not theirs.
Right. No,
they don't anymore. Matt, did I tell you price of oil's dropped so low that pirates don't even steal oil anymore? Really? It's no longer affordable for them to freaking pirate oil. Somali pirates have to focus on like diamonds now.
Well, it's kind of good then.
It's hilarious.
That's kind of good. They're still pirates. They're still killing people. Probably.
Well, they have nothing else.
I don't see them killing people just to kill people.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, of course they do.
Some of them do.
Did you ever watch that Tom Hanks movie? Look at me. Look at me.
I am the captain now.
But they were not. But that's not.
But here's the thing.
Okay, I'll do it better than that. Did you not see The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou? These are pirate scumbags.
I still haven't finished that damn movie.
Oh, there's a great scene with
Every time I try to watch it, because I was trying to pirate it, shame on me. That's my fault, apparently. Every time I try to watch it, it would get to like the half. You'd meet his son, and then the movie would freeze. Well, it would never go any further than that.
It was
so
bad
I still
seating.
haven't seen it.
But no, but again, like I said, like that's what it comes down to, is that maybe now you know, and you're still buying your music.
Well, this is why I stopped pirating stuff, because I agree that it's a problem.
There's every once in a while
I do it in extreme circumstances. I do it at the same time my brother does it, to stick it to a company that I don't like. Like if I'm pissed at EA for doing some shady stuff, then I'll say, "Hey EA, take that."
You see,
but even then I don't really.
But even then, like that's also sometimes the question of. Maybe that's why EA has to be shady, because they got screwed over a couple times. I'm not saying EA specifically. EA is like a really bad example of that. But let's put it this way: EA swallowed up companies that got screwed over by that.
Yeah,
maybe is a better way of saying it.
I say that I stick it to the man. I really don't. I stopped pirating games like 3 years ago. That's not a thing. The most I'll do if a TV show is not available in any way. I'm talking, you can't find the DVDs.
Yeah.
It's not on a streaming site like Hulu or Netflix or whatever. It's just gone. I'll look for somebody who recorded it off the TV and watch it that way. But beyond that, I just don't do it anymore. I can't justify it. What's going on? What is that? I can't read that URL.
It's a website that says, has Leo won an Oscar? And finally it says yes.
Finally, yeah.
Oh, nice.
There have been a lot of times. There's one for an actor that was supposed to die. Oh. Not supposed to die, but like he was going, and it's like, has this person died yet? Mm-hmm. And on the day, the person I think it was either Leonard Nimoy or Snape. Rickman. I don't think it was
Morgan
Rickman.
Freeman, because Morgan Freeman's the one that every 6 months somebody says Morgan Freeman died, and he's not.
No. But But the thing is, like, this website was supposed to be a counter, and then the person died, and they didn't go and update the website.
Oh.
And so people were checking that, like, oh, this can't be true. Just the person who was supposed to go and update it didn't, like, they weren't paying attention.
Jeez.
And so, like, for a full 12 hours, it was just.
It also takes time for those to update sometimes, depending on what service you use.
Well, no, this was just a dude falling asleep at the wheel.
Well, it happens to me sometimes. I go to bed and I wake up and I find out that somebody got killed, and I'm like, oh man,
Or tragedy has happened.
Like when the France thing happened, when those guys blew up and shot up France, with the Eagles of Death Metal show. I went to bed an hour later. It happened, and I didn't find out about it I woke up later, like, oh well,
Yeah.
I've seen that before. That's funny.
So, someone posted on Reddit saying "Rest in peace" to a meme of Leo never winning.
That's funny.
It's funny because that was posted by Nvidia.
I got
Just
some more.
For whoever was curious,
I got some more.
I showed it was from The Great Gatsby, where
he raises a glass.
Yeah, but
instead it's an Oscar.
It was an Oscar.
That's all that anybody's talking about on my newsfeed right now.
Because that was the only thing anyone really cared about.
Yeah.
If he would have lost that, I don't even know what would the internet would have imploded.
Here's one that says if Matt Damon won Best Actor.
You have to describe the picture now.
It's the scene from a picture of the
God.
scene from The Departed when Leonardo DiCaprio is holding Matt Damon hostage, like not hostage, but like he's like holding a gun to his head.
All right, I have more news. So Robert, your buddies are in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Who
are his buddies? His buddies. B&H Photo and Video.
Oh,
Again?
you're friends with them?
No.
You know B or H?
What did they do that's got them in trouble now?
What did they do first?
What do they do? They are a warehouse in New York that has really affordable photo and video gear.
But what did they do the first time?
What did they do the first time? It's all discrimination. Back in 2007.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just go for it. Allegedly, they're forcing Hispanic workers in their warehouses to use separate, less sanitary bathrooms. Which is like, it's like, okay, so the Hispanic workers are getting things. The other thing is that apparently,
wait, when did this article come out?
This article came out 3 days ago.
Got it, because I know the last time that those similar claims were made, they went and investigated, and people were just being petty because they were being paid less.
Well, there's a number of things here in this article. The first one is about
it's all alleged.
The workers. That's alleged. Okay. The other thing that they're saying is that they haven't provided separate restrooms or changing facilities for their female employees because everybody's got to wear coveralls and uniforms and stuff like that. Yeah. So they're not providing a place for them to clean up and do whatever. So they have to do it in front of the men. They've previously been sued for discrimination and they settled out of court for $4.3 million. This was in 2007. The last thing is probably what you were talking about. The Labor Department has been investigating conditions at the warehouse since a routine inspection in 2013. And as of 2014, they were unable to reach a settlement or get B&H to agree to make any corrective changes. And at one point, it's not in my notes here, but I recall that they were in trouble. They were fined $45,000 or something because they didn't have any guardrails on any of their high surfaces. So there was there was a risk that people could fall and hurt themselves.
It's also a warehouse, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's especially why they should have rails so that people don't fall, and especially if they're it's not like a catwalk where they're up there once a year. They're on high services daily.
You would think, but man, I've been in a lot of shops and environments, and it's like the last thing I ever thought of.
Yeah. It's the last thing you ever thought of because it could get in the way, but it is technically a law that they're supposed to follow, and they're being fined for it, and then maybe they'll put them up, and maybe they won't.
They should. That's the only way they usually learn.
So right here, the allegations are that Hispanic warehouse workers have been relegated to lower status and lower paying jobs compared to their white counterparts. That is to say that all the people that are getting the promotions, every single one of them is white.
Right.
The government goes on to allege that 2,500 women were not hired because of their gender. 6,180 blacks and 750 Asians were not hired because of their race. Here's the thing about B&H Photo. For those of you who don't know, it's owned, operated, and fully staffed by Hasidic Jews, who are incredibly racist.
Not only that, they also operate under a religious religious banner.
They're not open on any Jewish holiday except for Hanukkah because they're allowed to do business during Hanukkah. They're not open on Christmas because they have some employees that are Jewish.
Well, I mean Hanukkah, yeah, like the 7 nights.
But they're allowed to do business, so But any Shabbat, any of that stuff.
No,
they're not
yeah.
allowed to be
I mean,
open.
most weekends they're closed.
Every single person that's there has a giant beard, and every single one of them live. It's to the point that so many people that work at B&H live in. Oh my God, there's a word for it. Not close proximity, but there's a place in New York where all the Hasidic Jews live. Like all of them, they live in a village together.
Not like a borough, basically.
Not even a borough. I'm talking because that's like saying all the blacks live in Harlem. I'm saying there is a village that they live in and only they live in, and it's for them and it's by them and it's right the whole thing. And they have buses that go between that place and B&H, like several buses daily. That all these
it's like Google in Mountain View.
Yeah. Just I see why your phone did that. That's funny.
Yeah.
So it's the kind of thing where the guy that owns the company and everybody that's in charge and everybody that works there, they're all Hasidic Jews. I've never met a Hasidic Jew, but it's my understanding that they're all really racist.
The thing is that they're also really religious.
Exactly. Really religious, really racist. They're set in their ways. Yeah. They observe everything. So the fact that 6,000 black people have been denied work at this warehouse in a city that has a lot of black people, part of it could be racism. Part of it could also be, one might argue, in the same way that, the thing is they can look at the applications and they can look at the number of people that have tried to apply there. You don't have to keep them forever, but you can keep them long enough. Plus, they've been tracking this for a while. And then the other thing is, it's easy to put the feelers out there and be like, hey, have you ever applied? Have you ever applied? I mean, it might have been a class action thing or an email us if you've done this. But it's not that hard to go to the warehouse and look at everybody that's a Hasidic Jew and then say they only hire Jews. Thing is, the people that they do hire that aren't Jewish are Hispanics, and then they make them do the crap work and they send them to the other bathrooms and they don't have buses for them, the whole thing. It wouldn't surprise me to find out that this is true, just given the makeup of the company. But one might argue, and this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting because we've worked at events before that are run by people that like to hire within their race because they like to give their race opportunities.
Right, because their race is encumbered.
Exactly, they're giving their people of their ethnic background a chance. Right. And we happen to be there, but they're mostly hiring people that are like them because they want to give them a chance. We can't fault them for that. I mean, we can, but we don't. And one could argue that B&H is doing the exact same thing, but the Jews are white. So then it becomes a problem.
Not only that, the standards of work.
Yes.
That's where it becomes a problem.
Oh, exactly. The separate bathroom thing, that's crap.
Well, I mean, no.
Do they have executive
No.
Do they have executive offices
here's
and a warehouse bathroom?
No, they have like this. It's the sort of thing. It's my understanding.
Religion. I have to stop exactly where you guys are because I guarantee you that this is come down to religion.
It might,
because when you look at Hasidic Jews, I'm not sure because I'm not a huge person on religion.
Well, there are people that bag themselves before they fly over crazy.
Right, and stuff like that. And so that's Orthodox.
Yeah.
And so, but the thing is, like, they could feel that, again, certain people, like, if you're not in that, if you don't believe in that faith, you're not to use.
Right, and that's possible. But the other thing they're doing is they're not taking care of the bathrooms for everybody else. But it's my understanding that what it's probably something like, because it's a big warehouse, they probably have all of the Jews working on one side of the warehouse next to the nice bathroom and everybody else working at the far end where they don't have to look at them.
Right.
Take the back entrance, use the back bathroom.
This is going to sound really bad, and please forgive me, everyone, for saying this, but it's also possible, like, if they're the only ones using that bathroom,
that's also possible.
I mean, the thing is, it's not like the other people are going there and taking a dump and just leaving it floating.
Right.
Or just like missing the
because one might argue that it's if it's the bathroom that they're using and it's unsanitary, maybe it's their fault. But the article, I believe, said that it was the bathroom that they didn't take care of. It was one that was like they didn't focus on sanitizing it as clearly. I mean, skim the article and see.
No, yeah, but even then, it's like if you get it in the bowl, it's usually not gonna. Well, but you're not getting sanitized.
But how many times have you gone into a bathroom at a restaurant and you could tell that there was a puddle of piss at one point that people have been stepping through and trailing pissy footprints all around the tile floor.
That happens, and I get that. Like people miss. That happens.
It reminds me of Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Garen, did you ever see Me, Myself, and Irene?
I have not seen that movie.
There's a scene when Jim Carrey is up all night having sex. And the story of the movie is that he has multiple personality disorder.
Careful. We can't get copyright for.
He has multiple personality disorder. And he will turn into someone else. He just like splits into like this angry guy. So there's nice Jim Carrey and there's angry Jim Carrey. Angry Jim Carrey Nice Jim Carrey's having problems. Anytime he gets angry, that's when he becomes the other guy. He goes out to use the ice maker, and like he gets really pissed, and he just starts beating the crap out of it. Takes a deep breath, goes inside, says, I just got mad at the ice maker, but I took a deep breath and everything's okay. And she's like, wow, that's such a great breakthrough. Let's have sex. And they bang all night.
No, jeez.
He wakes up, he's groggy, he goes and he takes a piss in the bathroom, and it's shot from behind. It's Jim Carrey's naked ass, and he looks up at the ceiling, just and pee starts shooting up into the sky.
What?
Because he's got a clog and it's splitting his stream. Garen, have you ever been up all night having sex? Okay, something happens.
Well,
there's something in the pipes.
File this under explicit.
You'll find this later.
Take the piss later.
There's a little bit of a something in the way, and it splits the stream. So he starts peeing up in the air, and then he tries to catch it with a trash can. It's hilarious. And then he yells to, I think it's Christina Applegate is in that. I don't know. He yells to his partner, honey, why am I peeing like I was up all night having sex? And she's like, because you were. And then he doesn't remember it. And the joke is that it was actually evil Jim Carrey pretending to be nice Jim Carrey, and then she feels violated. Anyway, splitting the stream. So sometimes that happens, and it winds up on the floor.
That seemed unnecessary.
And then maybe these guys are making a mess. Anyway, I'm sorry, I couldn't find anywhere in the article where it said that. I don't know where I read it. The article that I'm reading now is from the New York Post, but it wasn't the only article about this that I saw. It's just the one that I linked, and I can't find the others.
That's sometimes it's a question, and if I'll believe it once it's actionable, once actually again something moves.
But here's the other thing. It's not like this is the first time they've been accused of it, so it wouldn't surprise me if it did happen.
That's also, I mean, the thing is, again, Amazon has the same problem constantly, that they're being berated for the same reasons that people want to kill themselves, that people they're forced to work
because they're sort of running their warehouses the same way that China runs its factories.
Exactly, but at the same time, it's like when people go and investigate that. It's a question of how real it is. Well,
the other thing is that it gets dressed up when it gets investigated, because it's not like they investigate it in secret. They don't send spies to get hired by Amazon to investigate the working conditions. But they don't have secret shops.
But at the same time, I'm sure these people working at these have cell phones now with nice smartphones and stuff like that, or cameras.
There's other situations where you're not allowed to use those things in the workplace because of proprietary technologies or whatever, and it's
I understand.
I mean, or you can be fined or fired for having your cell phone out during work hours.
I mean, I'm not going to argue hypotheticals. I'm just going to go with the one thing I found that, and this was in Amazon's case, where the news organization that was publishing the article was actually trying to hurt and to cause detriment.
And they weren't investigating the claims; they were just reporting.
They're reporting, and they're not only reporting them, but they're inciting
a riot.
No, they were basically kind of like building up. Like someone said, oh yeah, we have to work on Saturdays. Said, oh, that they work 18 hours on Saturday and Sunday.
That
embellishing.
We had to work on Saturday became they don't get weekends.
Yes.
Right, that makes sense.
And
that does happen.
And so it's a question of maybe there's one bathroom and the thing that's bad. I don't know if it's true. I'm not belittling the people, because I mean that really does suck. I love B&H, but that's also why their stuff's so cheap.
Also probably true. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's kind of it's the sort of thing where I look at that and I go, "Damn, that's a shame." And I think to myself, "Yeah, I'm not going to order stuff from them anymore." But at the end of the day,
I don't like paying taxes in California.
Well, I'm not even going to say that so much. For me, at the end of the day, if I need a piece of equipment and it comes from B&H, it's not available anywhere else, the show must go on. I'm sorry, I'm going to order it from B&H.
Absolutely.
Like,
I mean, it's unfortunate.
It really, I hate it. I hate saying that, but it's true.
I mean, and again, it's also a question of Anorama. How much different are they in stuff like that?
All the competitors are doing the same thing.
I mean, exactly.
That's how they stay competitive, unfortunately.
And so
it's a bigger question, not a question, but a bigger issue that it rises up is to talk about these sort of working conditions in that industry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, rather than focus on how evil B&H is, just say, hey, there needs to be some reform.
There was a Watch Mojo that I saw that like 10 times companies and celebrities were like caught of doing something like they're either the celebrities company or the company was caught of doing something wrong. In Gap, it's happened for Gap, I think, like 4 times now.
Constantly.
And
there's a whole expose. It was a John Oliver segment on cheap clothes,
right?
And how many times it's happened to Gap, and even the situations where Good Morning America type shows report on the horrible things that happen at these factories and say, like, we need to stop endorsing these sweatshops and blah, 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 blah. And then 2 weeks later, they're like, oh, I got this at Gap. And they're showing it off because it's the segment of the time. It's great to drum up that news because it gets eyes on the screen. but they have no integrity because they forget as soon as the TV turns off, and then they talk about it the next week.
Instead of actually following up with it and actually
exactly. Or saying, hey, wait a second, we're not going to promote this because that's Gap, and Gap did that thing that we condemned last week.
The thing is, they probably reached out for comment and like, no, but we'd love to do a segment on your show.
Exactly. Gap is.
We
We here at the is that Danny DeVito in an espresso commercial?
Yeah, with George Clooney.
We here at the Gap have been making strides at ensuring the safety of our workers and our blah 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 blah.
Oh, like Apple putting nets so people can't commit suicide off of their
God.
buildings.
Well, that's not Apple doing that. That's the subcontractor of Apple doing that, and Apple just saying we don't know about it. But the fact that it has to happen should say that there's maybe
let's
a
put it this
freaking
way:
problem.
it's still Apple's money paying for it all. So,
at the end of the day, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I guess a subcontractor, but that subcontractor doesn't exist unless Apple gives them the money. To an extent,
here's the thing, though,
but
because that was another thing that John Oliver covered on some of these is that Gap will contract somebody to say make these clothes, and then they subcontract to companies who subcontract to other companies, and it's so far removed that they really don't know about it.
Right.
Not always, but it does happen.
It almost kind of ties into the YouTube argument, where again a company's so big that you have so many other like small facets of it,
and a lot of stuff falls.
It's hard to track everything. Yeah, well, it sucks though. I don't know what that has to do with TV and film, but
no, just
yeah, B&H. That's right.
Industry, just fix it. Just fix it. It got to be fixed.
I mean, yeah, I think that's the biggest problem is that if a company like that does start fixing it and starts raising prices, they'll get hit for like, why are you raising prices? Why are you doing this? Well, it's made in America now. Oh, that's great. It's made in America, but why is it expensive? It should still be affordable. Kind of not how it works.
I saw a quote the other day, and I think it was an anti-capitalist quote.
Oh, we have to turn the TV off.
Or it might have. Is it Jimmy Kimmel?
I hate Jimmy Kimmel.
What's wrong with Jimmy Kimmel?
I didn't like he is.
You didn't like him when he was on the Man Show.
That was all right. The thing is that no, actually, I didn't like him when he was on the Man Show.
You didn't like him when he was on Win Ben Stein's Money.
No.
Oh. I like Jimmy Kimmel.
I don't. The thing is, like, especially as a late night talk show host,
I feel like that's the thing he does best is late night talk.
The thing is,
he kind of wasn't that great.
He comes off like a dick.
Well, yeah,
of
course he does.
But like, no, but like looking, I mean, okay, he does. I'm saying not saying no to him. I'm saying compared to the other late night hosts.
Oh yeah,
I enjoy them so much more.
Like, what if you compare all of them? I'd rather hang out with Conan or Jimmy Fallon, and Jimmy Kimmel's the kind of guy that I probably wouldn't get along with.
If I saw him at a strip club, I'd probably go the other way.
It's once he made the change.
Like,
he was cool.
Yeah,
if you saw him anywhere else, you'd be like, oh, okay, I'm okay with going there.
I vaguely remember because I was really young
when
that show was on, but I do remember him once he got on Jimmy Kimmel. I just realized that must have been painful for anybody to listen to, having two conversations there. Once he got on the Jimmy Kimmel, I remembered I said, hey, wasn't that the guy from the Man Show? But I don't remember that show that much, except for Ziggy Zaggy, and that's about it.
Oh, I remember the trampolines.
Yeah, how could I forget the trampolines?
That's like the one that and the coffee mugs. That's the only two things I remember.
But does it really surprise you that the guy from the Man Show would go on to this?
Oh yeah,
and
Adam
Carolla is the same way.
But that's the thing is that I feel
again
Jimmy Kimmel. He's kind of like he almost does the clickbait of like talk shows a little bit.
I totally see what you mean.
Because the thing is like when you're looking at the stuff that Jimmy Kimmel puts up on his YouTube page, he's like, oh, look at this reaction.
Yeah.
Look at this. Like recently he got me a click on look at how Chef Gordon Ramsay reacts to nature cookies. You won't believe it. I'm like, he's probably gonna like it. Nope, he hated them. He hated them and said that they're garbage. I'm like, okay, but like when you look at something that Jimmy Fallon does, like, hey, look at this the string quartet, or look at this person do this thing, like,
right,
you know, it's
I do enjoy that, but everything Jimmy Fallon and Ellen do tend to be really upbeat.
Yeah. Stephen Colbert is the same thing, and same thing with Conan. Conan stuff is, I can't get behind Conan's new humor.
I just feel like Jimmy Fallon and like Ellen and stuff, they're just so. I don't know the right word for it, but I'm just gonna use the word vanilla.
Oh, wait, what?
I don't know the right word for it.
No, but who are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Jimmy Fallon and like Ellen and all these like likable people are way too likable.
Well, remember Ellen?
Meaning, like, I just feel like the thing is, I give credit to Jimmy Fallon and Ellen. They both worked for it. They both like got to that position because of what they did, and I get it. But I'm just saying, I feel like they have really good producers behind them.
No, that's also Jimmy Fallon's lineage too. I mean, yeah, Jimmy Fallon's coming from SNL and stuff like that.
Right. No, I'm saying he deserves to be in the spot that he's in, and I get that. I'm not knocking him for not being.
The thing is, I feel like he's saying they're vanilla, is like saying that
they're very tame and palatable.
Yeah,
they don't push the envelope really because they do stuff that's they rely on being likable.
Yeah,
which isn't a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing at all. I'm just saying
but
knocking other people for not being as likable.
No, but at the same time, it's I rather them be likable and actually talk about stuff and stuff like that than try to drum up controversy.
Right.
But do you think that
absolutely?
Do you think people are drumming up controversy, or they're just being just saying things and the other people aren't drumming up controversy?
Yeah, no. Let's go back to one of the last things. Like basically, he said all these really negative things and totally bashed gamers. And
talking about right now,
Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel,
and yeah, we had this on our show. How he and then a week later or 2 weeks later, he had on PewDiePie and then almost took everything back.
Okay, well.
He's like the Hillary Clinton of talk show hosts.
maybe he messed up, and I get that. Of course, like I'm not defending Jimmy Kimmel necessarily, but I'm just saying that
Jimmy, if he messed up, and he does this a couple times, I can't point out the other ones right now. Right, the first one comes to mind. Okay. But that's lazy. That's lazy producing.
His people realized after the fact that Swell that was about to
but
him. And they were like, "We got to move real quick."
But you said
no integrity.
You hit the nail on the head. It is lazy producing. I think his producers him and the producers are at fault in that situation also. But just because
that doesn't make them edgy.
But I'm not saying it makes them edgy.
Yes, you were.
I'm not. No, I wasn't. I was saying just.
Then what flavor is?
I was asking.
What flavor is Jimmy Kimmel?
I was saying I was asking you. Do you think that it's because they're drumming up controversy and like someone like Jimmy Fallon isn't? Or that Jimmy Fallon isn't even going there, and I was asking, and these other guys are. I'm just asking that question. I'm not defending either one of them.
Oh, it's Tracy Morgan as Mr. T.
I'm so glad Tracy Morgan's like alive.
Is that brain dead?
Well, the first time he came on TV for like 6 months. Yeah,
it's a Creed parody.
Yeah. The first time he came back on TV after his accident, he was not all there. And it was like 6 months before he finally did a commercial where it's like, yay, Tracy Morgan's back. And now, like, even though he went on air a year after his accident, it's taken 2 years for him to actually, like, have his brain function.
That's kind of how that works.
But I'm glad that he wasn't brain damaged.
I'm glad, too. I mean, it's funny.
I don't know. But no, the thing is that Jimmy Fallon and, like, Stephen Colbert and stuff like that, I feel like they do stuff that is palatable. They don't just like go for
No, but that's the difference. Colbert is a little bit like Colbert comes from a background that he was edgy because of the fact that he was speaking truths about things or investigating things.
The thing is, he was also playing a persona.
Yeah, that's
he's not playing a persona now.
But he's still like you could watch Colbert and you could still see more like, oh, okay, like he's taking jabs. Like you could still see that, and like you could still see a personality coming out of him, and not just a guy going like, "Hi, everybody," like that. Like,
but that's the thing is like Jimmy Fallon isn't that either. He's
not completely that. I'm not saying he's a robot or anything like that, but he's just like, and he's probably
like the
really
boy next door, Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, like he's the guy you can't hate, and and there's nothing wrong with being that, but I'm just saying that doesn't give him an edge over anybody else in terms of quality. That's all I'm saying. Everybody likes different people for different reasons.
Let me put it this way: the stuff the other shows produce compared to the stuff that at least Jimmy Kimmel produces. Again, I'm just not a fan. Again, it feels lazily produced.
That's fine, and I get that. I'm just saying, I want to know what you felt about that in terms of like, is it them or is it just the way it all comes together in general? But again, people have different tastes, and I get it.
Yeah, like, that's also why you have so many.
I just don't. I'm just like.
He also feels so distant. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, it just Jimmy Fallon feels a little bit more real than Jimmy Kimmel does. Jimmy Kimmel feels really kind of like he puts up this like douchebag persona because he wants to be the guy.
Right, but I would also say that maybe, and I get it, maybe Jimmy Fallon's a little bit more real because he's like that and cool. But I'm just saying, as a talk show host, personally speaking, I liked him I liked him when in comedy as an actor more than his persona as a talk show host.
Which is funny because he's definitely, in my opinion, better at talk than he was at comedy.
He is better.
Because he's had a lot of practice as a talk show host to get better at it. When he was on SNL, he was like barely qualified.
Who was in Taxi?
Who was in Taxi?
No, it was him and
Danny DeVito.
him and Whoopi Goldberg.
No.
Wow, that was a horrible moment. I'm sorry. It was Queen Latifah.
It was Queen Latifah.
Wait,
that movie sucked, but I'm just saying, I'm not crediting his acting. I'm just saying like his
Taxi was
SNL.
a show
I liked
in
him
the
on
70s.
SNL. I liked him on SNL, and
Oh,
he
there
was
was a movie
great
called
as
Taxi
a
also.
host. But I just couldn't
with
get
Jimmy
into it.
Fallon and Queen Latifah.
Yeah, that was the remake of that French movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. I was thinking about the show with freaking Danny DeVito.
No, I know.
First episode, did you ever watch Taxi, the original?
No idea.
I've only seen one episode, and it was the first episode. Danny DeVito comes out, and he's behind like a cage. He's the guy that he's the dispatch guy. And you don't realize how short he is because he's sitting on a high chair behind a console, and he looks like a grown man. He's got big, broad shoulders, and his head. I'm Danny DeVito. You got to go. You got to take the cab out. And they're like trying to get at one scene. They've been taking the cabs out like off hours to do other shit because they don't have cars. And so they're taking the cabs out. Guy's like, hey, Danny, I got to borrow the cab. I got to go to Miami for the weekend. I got to visit my son. And Danny DeVito says, oh, no, you don't. And he gets off his chair and he freaking stomps over and he like kicks the gate open and waddles his 4'9" ass out there and says, you listen to me. And everybody just loses their mind because he's so tiny. And nobody, you didn't see him before then. Nobody knew who he was and you didn't see how short he was. And so he comes out looking just like a freaking dwarf. And everybody goes nuts.
Yeah, like
it's such a fun scene to watch. And now I'm going to look it up so I can watch it again after the show. Damn it, Garen. I can't believe you've never seen this.
I think I've seen parodies of that show.
Probably.
Specifically from Family Guy.
Now, the question was Taxi a spinoff from Cheers? Or was Cheers? Or was Cheers the spinoff of
Well, you know, when I
Taxi?
searched for the video, the first thing that came up was the TV series Wikipedia. American sitcom originally aired from 78 to 82, and then 82 to 83, blah, 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 blah. Starring, created by, opening theme, composer, number of episodes, distributor, network related. No, it's an original. As far as I know. The one that was a spinoff of Cheers was Frasier.
Right.
Yeah, Frasier was.
And Taxi. Oh,
Taxi was too?
Let me double check. Because the thing is, I remember
it's not saying it on here. That's why I'm not bringing it up.
I know when we were checking the showrunner, James Burrows.
Well, he
was also
certainly was the TV director that's done 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't think so. If I Google Taxi spinoff.
No, Google.
I think it just said that.
Yeah, Taxi's not on here as a list of.
No, I just said they have the same producers.
Got it. Okay, yeah.
That's the only. I think that's the only link. They had some of the same actors, but that's pretty much it.
Well, that was TV in the 70s in general.
Yeah, like there was no like real connection.
They kind of did that in movies in the 80s too. You ever Pretty in Pink? It's like the 20 or 30 year anniversary of Pretty in Pink today, and I realized that everybody that was in The Breakfast Club and Real Science and War Games and Ferris Bueller's Day Off and all these, like a lot of people. You just
mentioned like 4 Matthew Broderick films,
but a lot of people,
a
lot of people that were in all of these movies were in all of these movies, and then they kind of fizzled away. They're still around, they still act, but like you look at them when they were young, and that's when they were who they were, and at a certain point they just disappeared. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it was kind of that. It was again,
like whatever happened to Molly Ringwald?
No,
like, she hasn't been anything recently that I'm aware of.
No, the thing is, everyone wanted her to be what she was in the 70s and 80s.
Right. And then it ended.
Yeah, it's because that, again, typecasting. That's what happens with child stars. That's why child stars go nowhere.
This is also, all these people I'm talking about are essentially child stars.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Teen stars,
young
stuff like
adult
that as well.
Or the blonde guy from Real Science. Or Weird Science. I'm confusing Real Genius and Weird Science.
Well, the blonde guy in Real Genius, too, which is Val Kilmer.
Weird Genius.
That doesn't count. Val Kilmer was around for a long time. Val Kilmer kept making movies into his adult life. It wasn't until he started gaining weight, and that was 5 years ago.
But did he make great movies or
not
good
great movies? But he still made movies that he was in. He was in Tombstone. He was in.
Was he a lead? Was he ever a lead?
He was Doc Holliday. He was like the fourth guy.
In a film?
Yeah,
he was Batman.
He was in those too.
Batman was the only lead because the thing is, even then, Top Gun, he was a.
But he kept making movies beyond his young.
The thing is, so did Matthew Broderick, though. I'm
not talking about those people. I'm talking about Molly Ringwald. I'm talking about the blonde guy from Weird Science. I'm talking about the guy that wasn't Ferris Bueller in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the supporting characters that were good enough to be in a lot of recognizable films, but they never quite went anywhere.
She's in a TV series.
Who?
Molly Ringwald.
So she's on TV.
In 2016, yes.
Okay, good. So she's still on TV. I'm glad to hear that.
She did The Secret Life of American Teenager.
Okay.
In 2008 to 2013, which was a big show. As well as she was not in another teen movie. She was apparently the flight attendant.
I was
Yeah, but still, I mean, again, the thing is, I've skipped a bunch of stuff that she was in.
Just quick thing, by the way, I totally forgot. Val Kilmer leading role. He was Jim Morrison in the Doors movie.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a real genius. He was in wasn't he in? Oh no, that was.
He was really good in that movie.
I was about to say Soldier.
Have you seen the Doors movie? It's pretty good.
I've seen part of it, but it wasn't really my thing.
I like
What's the one with Robert Downey Jr.?
I'm a sucker for music.
Is that Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
I think so.
Honestly,
that was a good one.
Up in front of me.
She also, by the way, if I don't know how current this picture is, but she looks really good for her age.
For being almost 50, yeah.
Holy crap. Go Molly Ringwald.
Looking good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. If you haven't seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I highly recommend it. It's a really funny movie. It's also when Val Kilmer is fat.
I miss skinny then fat then skinny Val Kilmer.
I wish Val Kilmer that's the movie. I want to say that I want to see the remake to that, but I don't know if I really do. To not Top Secret, the other one you mentioned it. Not Weird Science.
What I just said, or
no, Val Kilmer movie, 80s.
Top Gun.
No. Real Genius. Thank you.
Real Genius is incredible.
I kind of want to see a remake to that.
Really, Real Genius.
Absolutely. That was.
All right. I think it's time to end the show. We've been on for 2 hours. The Oscars are over. I'm sober now, so I can drive home. Everything's great.
We could finish this bottle. I mean,
we could.
I mean,
it's also half a bottle.
There's also always next week.
Yes. That should just be a thing from now on. Garen comes in with no news. Robert's a sensible one. I get drunk. Sergey has opinions that don't agree with ours. And Matt runs the board. That's our shtick. That's our shtick now.
I don't want that to be our shtick because I'm going to come in with news next week.
Okay. And I'm not going to.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, when it doesn't happen, we'll give you more crap for it.
That's totally fine. And I'll deserve
okay,
it.
absolutely.
I will 100%
if you bring no news.
We start a running clock.
Yeah. Yeah, we start a day counter. And I'll figure something else out.
How about you just make me do like something that I hate doing, like moving,
like news?
push-ups or sit-ups?
No. The thing is, it's gonna have to be like a constant reminder through the entire next week's show.
How about I wear a dunce cap?
No, because no one can see that.
How about I just every time I speak, I say something.
I got one. I got one. He doesn't bring in the news. We put a safety pin, or not a safety pin, a clothespin on his nose. A light one. We don't want to hurt you, but we want your voice to sound like this the whole time. It'll be hilarious. So you get punished constantly through the show for not having news because you come in and you say things with your nose. That's we get one that doesn't hurt.
Make up a phrase that I have to say every time before I talk. Yeah, or you guys get the posting stick.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Garen Tanell and I have no news. There you go.
I was like, so again, I have no news, and I think something like that.
Absolutely.
And I'll totally do that.
That sounds fun.
So basically, this is King's Cup now.
My idea was cruel. That idea sounded hilarious.
Awesome.
On that note, thanks for everybody for listening. We are on social media.
Heck yes, we're on social media. If you can't find us on social media, you are not looking hard enough, but I'll give you a hint. Google the UnScripted PodCast. That is the UnScripted PodCast. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us in other places, but iTunes and Facebook are probably the more important ones. Follow us on YouTube. If you're into Google+, there's one of those too. We also have other things going. I'm sorry, I lost my trail of thought as I looked at Garen because I was going to promote Feedback Weekly, but what I really want to promote was Dan and Saran show, which has been happening as well.
Yes.
Dan and Saran take on Hollywood. This is two, I want to call them veterans of Hollywood. Is that an appropriate way to put it?
Professionals.
Veterans of Hollywood, professionals that have been in the industry for a lot longer than any of us have been alive, possibly longer than all of us put together. Well, that's a little much. That's a lot of years. That's too many years. But they've been at it for a while. They're giving their professional opinion.
I'd be easy to say all of us combined.
I mean, our ages combined. That'd be like 80 years. That's offensive.
All of our ages combined is equivalent to both of their
combined experience. Okay, boom. I can dig that. That's true. They've been at it for a long time, and they're coming at it. And every week, what is it they do? They discuss a single film every week or a single topic. Because I think this week's was the Oscars.
It was a topic this week, but it's usually a film.
They discuss a film. Like they discuss. We're talking trivia about it, things you might not know, things you might not have thought about, how it affected people at the time, what it meant for the industry, and also how it affects people today, and what kind of cultural relevance it still has. It's really interesting. It's very educational. It's a lot more educational than the schmucky stuff that we do here on the Unscripted podcast, but maybe less entertaining for those people that like laughter. It's not a laughing show. It is an education show, and you will learn something. I guarantee it. So check it out.
And you might have a laugh or two.
That's true.
Yeah, they're kind of funny.
Anyway, this has been the Unscripted Podcast. Matt, I just called you Mike. I'm sorry. Matt, pull down the dials.
Good night.